First of all, let us see the objective for Unit 6. After studying this unit, you will be able to understand how the XML is used in Android to define the structure, appearance, and configuration of UI element, resource, and application setting, and understand its role in the Android application development process. So फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव ये रहेगा हमारा कि XML जो है उसको हम देखेंगे। XML जो है वो कैसे डिफाइन होता है, उसका स्ट्रक्चर कैसा होता है, अपीयरेंस कैसा है, यूआई का एलिमेंट्स कौन से है, रिसोर्सेज एंड सेटिंग. The second objective is understand the concept of a view in the Android. So in this unit, we will also discuss about the views, including how the views represent interactive elements in the user interface, and learn how to create and manipulate views programmatically through XML, right? Then comprehend how different layout are used to arrange and position view on the screen, and learn how to design a flexible responsive UI layout using various layout type in Android. So ये जो है हमको फ्लेक्सिबल रिस्पॉन्सिव यूआई लेआउट भी देता है, सो वो भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे इस लेक्चर में. Then we can gain the understanding of the activities component in Android, including the role in the managing the user interface and the life cycle of the application, and learn how to implement and navigate between activities. Understand the function and purpose of the Android emulator, and learn how to use it, simulate different devices and configuration of the setting and debugging Android application. तो वो तो हमने लास्ट लेक्चर में भी देख लिया था कि इम्यूलेटर का यूज क्या होता है. वो कोई भी अगर आपने एप्लीकेशन बनाई है तो उसमें टेस्टिंग करने के लिए और डिबग करने के लिए इम्यूलेटर का यूज होता है. सो ये जो है हमारे ऑब्जेक्टिव है आज के लेक्चर के. These all are also the objectives. Learn the role of the manifest.xml file, defining the essential application component, declaring permission, and managing application setting and the configurations. Then we will understand the concept of the service in the Android, including its the use of background tasks that run independently of the UI, and learn how to implement, start, and manage service in the application. Comprehend how broadcast receiver in the Android application enable the application to listen for the response to the system wide or application specific event, and learn how to register and handle the broadcasts. The next objective is we will learn about the how the content provider in the Android allow application to securely share data with other applications and interact with the shared data resources, and understand how to implement and query content provider. So in this lecture we will also discuss about content provider. What is it and how it will be used in the application. Understand the role of intent in the Android as a communication mechanism between a component, and learn how to use explicit and implicit intent to start the activity, invoke the service, and send the broadcast. सो ये सारे जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है वो हम आज के लेक्चर में फुलफिल करने वाले हैं, हम लोग सीखने वाले हैं, राइट? तो देखते हैं नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. यस, these are the topics that we will cover in the today's lecture. All the terminology related to Android, like as XML, view, layout, activity, emulator, manifest, service, broadcast receiver, content provider, and intent. ये जो है वो टॉपिक्स आज के लेक्चर में हम कवर करेंगे. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. सबसे पहले हम देखेंगे व्हाट इज XML. XML जो है उसमें एंड्रॉयड में XML का बहुत ज्यादा यूज होता है, क्योंकि डिजाइनिंग के लिए इफ यू वांट टू design your application, at that time the XML file you need to be work on, right? If you want to design your application, you need to work on the XML file. So these are the this is the XML file that will be used to design an applications UI, like creating layout, views, button, and text field, etc. and also used in the parsing data feeds from the internet. So the XML is also can be used to parsing data from the internet. So what is the main usage of the XML? The XML is used to design an application's UI, like creating layout. If you want to create a layout, if you want to create a view, buttons, text field, etc., all the kind of widgets, you can say, by the use of that widgets and layout, you can design a mobile application by using that XML file. So in general, the XML is extensible markup language. Like in the Android application development, XML is a markup language used to define the structure and presentation of a user interface element, as well as and manage the application resource it is primarily used for. So XML, what is it actually? It is a extensible markup language, like as a it is a kind of language, right? It is used to design the Android application as per the views and widgets and layouts available in the Android. Next, ये जो पॉइंट्स है वो सब XML के अंदर के पॉइंट्स हैं. से फॉर एग्जांपल लेआउट, रिसोर्सेज, मैनिफेस्ट, configuration file, and attribute and syntax. So when you are creating if you want to create an application into the Android, first you need to design it, right? So if you want to design your application, there is a layouts and widgets available. You can use that layouts and widget. By using that layout and widget, you can design your application as per your requirement. So from that, first of all, layouts. So XML defines the arrangement of user interface element. We can say of views also on the screen. XML क्या करता है हमारा? वो डिफाइन करता है और अरेंज करता है. क्या अरेंज करेगा? जो भी हमने व्यूज ले रखे हैं और जो भी हमारी लेआउट्स ले रखे हैं, लेआउट्स के अकॉर्डिंगली वो व्यूज को अरेंज करेगा. It specifies how UI component like button, text field, and images are positioned within the application's interface. So the layout is also used to specify the components like button, text field, images. There are various kind of widgets available. So that's layout is used to arrange the layout is used to arrange the widgets or views as per your user requirements. This is the main benefit of layout. Then we have a resources in the XML. XML is used to manage application resources also, including a string, color, dimension, and style. So keep these point in your mind. Resources are available. There are 4 resources available: string, color, dimension, and style. These resources can also be used to customize your design, customize your application design. These resources are stored separately from the code, making it easier to manage and localize the application. Right? So the resource folder is available into the Android Studio project panel. If you extract that resource panel, if you extract that project panel, there will be a resource directory, and if you extract that resource directory, there will be 4 files: string.xml, color.xml, dimension.xml, and style.xml. And these 4 files are separately stored from the code. XML का जो कोड होता है और कोटलिन का जो कोड होता है, वहां पे ये रिसोर्सेज नहीं इंक्लूड होते हैं, उनके लिए अलग से डायरेक्टरी बनाई हुई है. ठीक है, तो वहां पे ही ये 4 फाइल्स रहती है, मेकिंग इट इजियर टू मैनेज एंड लोकलाइज द एप्लीकेशन. तो ये क्या होगा कि एप्लीकेशन को मैनेज करने में अच्छा रहेगा, क्योंकि सभी रिसोर्स की जो फाइल है वो डिफरेंट डायरेक्टरीज में पड़ी हुई है, इसलिए. देन वी हैव अ मैनिफेस्ट फाइल. The Android manifest.xml file contains the essential information about the application, such as declaring components. See, this Android manifest.xml file is a very essential file, very important file. It will have the information about the application and application settings and components. Like activities, services, broadcast receiver, etc. And also there will be a permission required by the एप्लीकेशन. सो ये सारी जो परमिशन वगैरह है, सर्विसेज, ब्रॉडकास्ट रिसीवर, उसका मैपिंग कहाँ पे होगा? उसका मैपिंग जो है वो ये एंड्रॉइड मैनिफेस्ट डॉट एक्सएमएल फाइल में रहेगा. और ये एक्सएमएल फाइल जो है उस वो कौन सी डायरेक्टरी में रहेगा? मैनिफेस्ट डायरेक्टरी में रहेगा. ये जो है वो प्रोजेक्ट पैनल हमने प्रीवियस लेक्चर में डिस्कस करा था, ठीक है? तो उसमें भी आपको ये मैनिफेस्ट फाइल दिखने को मिलेगी. Then we will have a configuration file. The XML is used for other configuration purpose such as defining preference, menu, custom settings for the application functionality and appearance. तो ये configuration जो फाइल है उसका आप प्रेफरेंस बनाने के लिए या फिर मेनूज बनाने के लिए या फिर कस्टम डिजाइनिंग का कोई सेटिंग करना है आपको, तो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन फाइल जो है वो आपका यूजफुल रहेगा. एट्रीब्यूट एंड सिंटैक्स. So if you have taken a layout and a widget, so there will be a attribute for the particular widget and particular layout. So for example, there are multiple layouts available: linear layout, constant layout, relative layout, absolute layout, table layout, list view, grid view, button, image button, toggle button. These all are the widget and layouts, right? So there will be a particular syntax and attribute which are available for the particular widget or layout. If we say for example, if we say about linear layout, so linear layout will have the special attribute name as orientation. So by using that orientation, you can define how your widget will be arranged, like as a horizontally or vertically. So various attributes that specify the behavior, appearance and layout properties, enabling developer to fine tune the UI and application behavior, right? सो ये जो है वो सब टर्मिनोलॉजी किसकी है? एक्सएमएल फाइल की. लेआउट डॉट एक्सएमएल, रिसोर्स में स्ट्रिंग डॉट एक्सएमएल, कलर डॉट एक्सएमएल, डायमेंशन डॉट एक्सएमएल एंड स्टाइल डॉट एक्सएमएल, मैनिफेस्ट फाइल डॉट एक्सएमएल. कॉन्फ़िगरेशन फाइल होती है और पर्टिकुलर एक्सएमएल फाइल का एट्रीब्यूट और सिंटैक्स रहता है. नेक्स्ट जो हमारे पास है वो है व्यू. Now we will learn about what is view and how it will be useful in the application. In the Android development, a view represents a basic UI. So what is view actually means? View means a UI that is drawn on the screen and can interact with the user. So कोई भी अगर हम widget लेते हैं, से फॉर एग्जांपल हमने बटन लिया है, तो वो बटन जो है उसको हम व्यू बोलेंगे, ठीक है? So what is it? Actually it is a user interface element, a kind of element. You can say a widget also, that is drawn on the screen. तो वो आपको स्क्रीन के ऊपर दिखेगा and user can interact with that particular widget. Views are fundamental building block of creating an UI in the Android application, and they provide element like button, text field, image and more. These all are the attributes, these all are the views available. Okay, you can say a widget also, say for example button, toggle button, image button, edit text, text view, progress bar, the date picker, time picker. These all are the views available and widgets available. I will give you the practical demonstration of all the views and widgets which are important for Android development in the practical session, right? Now these all are the sub point of the view. So view के अंदर इतने points रहते हैं. सबसे पहले है UI element. So UI element means a view or UI component that allow user to interact with application. So the user जो है वो आपकी application के साथ interact करेगा by using that widget or we can say a view. Say for example, if you have taken a button in the screen, so user will directly interact with the button like that, right? If you have, there are some kind of forms related widget also are available. Say for example, button, text field, checkbox, radio button, image view and many more that we will discuss in the practical session. Then we will have the hierarchy in the view. So ये जो व्यू अरेंज रहेंगे हमारे वो लाइक एज अ ट्री स्ट्रक्चर रहेंगे. View can be organized hierarchically. A parent view like layout can contain multiple child view. So there will be a main layout, and in that layout all the widget will be available. For example, a linear layout can contain several button or text field. Suppose ki if you have taken a linear layout, so in that linear layout there can be multiple widgets applied into that linear layout. Then we have interaction. A view can detect user input such as a touch, gesture, click or key press. So user जो है वो interact करेगा कैसे? कोई भी application या कोई भी widget के साथ, how the user can interact by using touch, gesture, click or any key press event. So you can say like these all are the events also, right? Developer can set listener on the view to report the event. So this listener is the very important concept over here. Listener means it will listen to the user input. So if you have taken any view or any widget, there will be a particular listener for every different kind of widgets, right? That we such as when a user clicks on the button or type in the text field. So there can be two event in that particular text field. A user can click on that text field also, and user can type on that text field. So there will be a two listener for particular text field. So every widget has its particular listener. Keep this point in your mind. Every widget, every view has its particular listener. Actually कोई भी widget होता है उसके पास there will be a three things. Say for example, if you have taken button, so button has a property, button has a method, and button has a listener. If you know about the property, method, and listener of the widget, you can create your own application by yourself. Okay. So every widget has a property, every widget has a particular method, and every widget has its particular listener. Set all the properties and listener we will discuss in the next lectures. Attributes. Each view has attributes that define its appearance and behavior. Each view has attributes that define its appearance and behavior. So हमने कोई विजेट ले रखा है स्क्रीन में, इट मीन्स व्यू ले रखा है, तो वो व्यू का पर्टिकुलर अपीयरेंस मतलब वो कैसा दिखेगा, उसका अपीयरेंस रहेगा और उसका बिहेवियर रहेगा. दैट विजेट, हाउ दैट विजेट विल बिहेव on the particular user input. These attributes include a size, height, width, position, margin, padding, color, text, and many more properties will be there. Attributes means you can say a properties also. If you have taken a view, a widget, there will be a properties available for that particular widget. Say for example, if you have taken the button, so that button has particular properties. Say for example, ID, height, width, size, margin, padding, color, background color, text color, shadow, all the properties will be available for that particular button. So every view has its own attributes, or you can say a properties. Customization. Customization view can customize in various ways, such as applying different theme, setting image or text dynamically, and creating custom view to handle more complex UI component. So view can customize in a various way. You can create your own custom views also, such as by applying different theme. If you want to create your own different theme, at that time customization is required. And every time you need to customize your design as per user requirement. राइट। अगर आप 50 एप्लीकेशन बना रहे हो तो 50 एप्लीकेशन हैज इट्स डिफरेंट थीम, इट्स डिफरेंट color, and it's different ways to applying the text dynamically. So this can be done by using the view. You can create a custom view by using that customization properties. Then there is some common views also. Say for example, some of the common views are text view. It will use to display a text on the mobile screen. A button, it will use to when user want to click on the particular button. Image view, it will use to display an image on the mobile screen. Edit text for input field, and a checkbox for checkable item. There will be a radio button also, and multiple form fields will be also available in the Android Studio. You can directly drag and drop on the screen, or you can code it by using that XML. Preferably, the if you do the code in the XML file, that will be preferable. That I will teach you how to do that. Then we have the layout. So layout is very important part to design the application. There are different kind of layouts available in the Android application. A layout is a container that hold and arrange UI elements. So what is layout? Layout is actually a container that will hold the all the views and widget, we can say. It is arranged as per the layout. So these are the this is the main usage of the layout. What is it actually? It is a kind of container. Or in that container there will be a multiple views available, and these view are arranged as per the layout. Layout define how the view should be positioned and structured within the user interface. सो लेआउट क्या डिफाइन करता है कि लेआउट के अंदर आपने जो भी व्यूज ले रखे हैं वो कैसे पोजीशन होंगे, उसका पोजीशन क्या रहेगा. डिटरमाइनिंग द ओवरऑल लुक एंड फील ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन. लेआउट जो है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आपका लुक एंड फील रहेगा. आपने कौन सा लेआउट यूज करा है आपके एप्लीकेशन में, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आपको जो है वो आपको यूआई मिलेगा. दिस इज द these are the sub part of the layout. Say for example, these can be the types of layout also. There is more than these available, but currently I have taken the most important layouts over here. First of all, it is a linear layout. What is the use of linear layout? Linear layout can arrange the views in the single row or column, either horizontally or vertically. So if you want to design your screen, if you want to design your activity like as a rows and column accordingly, at that time the linear layout will be used. There is a relative layout also. The relative layout is used to positions the view relatively to each other or to the parent container. So this is also a kind of layout. In that layout, all the widgets can be arranged accordingly the layout. Then there will be a constraint layout. Flexible and powerful layout that allow views to be positioned based on the container relative to other views or apparent layout. Constraint layout है जो उसमें क्या रहेगा कि if you have taken constraint layout as a parent view, and in the constraint layout you have taken the multiple views, so that all multiple views are flexible and as per the constraint layout, and it will be positioned on the based on that how that widget is relatively connected to that constraint layout. This is the most important layout to design a custom application. Then there will be a frame layout also. It is used to display a single view at a time, often used to overlaying views or showing the fragment. So what is the main usage of that frame layout? If you want to display your widget like as a layer wise, like suppose there is a first layer, and if you want to display the second layer on that particular first layer, at that time frame layout will be used. So if you want to display your widgets like as a layered and overlaying views, at that time the frame layout will be used. And there is another layout named as grid layout. It organizes the view in a grid of rows and columns similar to table. So अगर आपके पास कोई डेटा है वो आपको टेबुलर फॉर्मेट पे दिखाना है, तो at that time the grid layout will be used. So these all are the important layouts. इतने ही है ऐसा नहीं है, और काफी सारे लेआउट है, ठीक है, पर हम हमारे टाइम अकॉर्डिंगली ये जो है 5 जो लेआउट्स है वो 5 लेआउट हम देखेंगे, उसका यूज भी देखेंगे और प्रैक्टिकल करके भी देखेंगे हमारे प्रैक्टिकल सेशन में, ठीक है। बट करंटली आप क्या करो, आप जो उसका जो बेसिक पार्ट है 5 लेआउट्स के नाम याद रखो और उसका यूज कैसे होता है वो आपको अपने माइंड में रखो। linear layout, relative layout, constraint layout, frame layout, and grid layout. Next, the another terminology we can say is activity. It is a very important terminology as per the user application development. In the Android development, an activity represents a single screen with a UI in a application. Now, if you are creating an application, there will be a multiple screen, and we discuss about what is an activity. Activity means a single screen. If you have taken a single activity, it means it is a single screen, right? So there is no ways to create an application without an activity. So if you are creating a mobile application, there will be at least one activity will be there. An activity means a single screen. Activity represent a single screen with the UI in the application. It serves the entry point of the user interaction, managing the life cycle of the application and providing the necessary functionality to interact with the user. What is the main benefit? What is the main usage of that activity? Activity is used for user interaction, managing a life cycle of the application, and it is also providing the necessary functionality to interact with the user. Like if you have 5 activity in your application, now if you want to move from first activity to second activity, there will be a intent will be used. But what is you need is you just need more than one activity to perform the user interaction and managing life cycle. Every time an Android application is launched, it start with an activity. It is, we can say, a main activity. So when an application is started, when you open the application in the mobile, first of all, it will call to the main activity. So main activity is the starting point of the program execution. But see here, there is an activity, right? So we are focusing on the activity, and I am just telling you that if you are opening the any application in your mobile, so internally it will call to the main activity of that particular application. So the main activity is the starting point of the application. These three are the sub part of the activity. In that, first of all is UI component. An activity is responsible for displaying the user interface on the screen. It interacts with a view like button, text field, and image that make up the visual component of the application. So activity is also responsible for to displaying the UI component into the screen. Life cycle management. This is also we have discussed in our previous lecture. What is application life cycle? So ये जो application life cycle पूरा manage कौन करता है? Depends on the activity. So activity have a well-defined life cycle which control their creation, state, and destruction. This life cycle include various stage and various method programmatically you can say, like as on create method, on start method, on resume method, on pause method, on stop method, and on destroy method. We have discussed these all method in depth in the previous lecture, so you can refer that also. A developer can override these method to manage the application's behavior at each stage, such as initializing resources, saving state, or clearing up when the activity is no longer needed. So activity lifecycle is also a kind of a management task. You can manage your activity lifecycle by using the uh, code, or you can say in the programmatically also you can manage your activity lifecycle. Navigation between activity. Now say for example, if you have 5 activity, means 5 screen on your application, so you need, the user need to navigate from one activity to another activity to another activity. So this navigation between activity can be possible by using intent, that we will also discuss in today's lecture. Android application often have multiple activity. To navigate from one activity to another activity, developer can use intent. As I told you, intent is the class that class is used to navigate from one activity to another activity. Intent is a message passing object that allow activity to request an action, like opening another activity. For example, pressing a button in one activity could trigger to the opening to the new activity. So when user click on that particular button, the next activity will be displayed on the screen. Next, interaction with other component. It is also a part of activity. So an activity can communicate with other component like service, broadcast receiver, and content provider. So by using that activity, uh, application can communicate with a service, broadcast receiver, and content provider to handle the background task, list the system event, and interact with data. सो ये जो सर्विस है वो बैकग्राउंड टास्क करने के लिए यूज होती है. बैकग्राउंड रिसीवर है, ब्रॉडकास्ट रिसीवर है जो वो कोई डेटा को लिसन करने के लिए. और कंटेंट प्रोवाइडर है वो आपका एप्लीकेशन का डेटा अगर आपको दूसरे एप्लीकेशन के साथ शेयर करना है तो कंटेंट प्रोवाइडर का यूज होगा. वो भी हम इस आज के लेक्चर में देखेंगे. मैनिफेस्ट डिक्लेरेशन. So when you are creating an activity, you need to declare that activity into that manifest file. Then and only then your application will know that there is in that application there is total 5 activities. Say for example, every activity is an Android application must be declared in the manifest file. As I told you, if you are creating an activity, you must be declare this activity into your Android manifest file. But what is the benefit? The benefit is we are working with the Android Studio, and Android Studio will manage all the manifest declaration by the self. So we do not need to declare that activity into that Android manifest file. It will be done by automatically by Android Studio where it is registered. The manifest file is contain essential information about activity. Manifest file में क्या रहता है कि आपकी activity का जो भी essential information है वो वहां पे रहता है, such as the name, intent filter, and any permission required. This file also we will discuss by today, Android manifest.xml. UI construction activity typically build the UI using XML layout file and the defined views. Developer can also dynamically create and multiple views if in the code if necessary. Application flow and user interaction. The activity represent the flow of the application in the term of the user interaction. It handles the input from user like example taps, click, typing, etc. and perform the action like navigating, updating the UI and managing the data. इम्यूलेटर. इम्यूलेटर के बारे में हमने प्रीवियस लेक्चर में ही काफी सारी बात करी है, फिर भी हम एक बार देख लेते हैं. इन द एंड्रॉइड डेवलपमेंट, इम्यूलेटर इज अ सॉफ्टवेयर टूल that allow developer to simulate the Android device on the कंप्यूटर. अगर आपके पास फिजिकल मोबाइल नहीं है और आप अपनी एप्लीकेशन का आउटपुट देखना चाहते हो और उसको टेस्ट और डिबग करना चाहते हो तो इम्यूलेटर वहां पे यूज होगा. ठीक है. इट मिमिक्स द बिहेवियर ऑफ द रियल डिवाइस, enabling developer to run and test the Android application without needing of any physical device. What is the main use of emulator is emulator will use to run, test and debug your application into the virtual. emulator के अंदर 3 पार्ट है, सिमुलेशन ऑफ डिवाइस, कॉन्फ़िगरेशन, कॉन्फ़िगरेबल सेटिंग एंड टेस्टिंग एंड डिबगिंग. ये बात हमने पिछले लेक्चर में भी करा था, ठीक है. The emulator provide virtual environment that replicates version various Android device, including smartphone, tablet, and other Android-powered device. It simulates the device screen, hardware, and software feature, allowing developer to test their application. Configurable settings. A developer can configure the emulator to simulate different device specifications such as screen size, resolution, CPU architecture, and RAM. Testing and debugging, the emulator allow developer to run their Android application as they would on the actual device. And the emulator, the main usage of the emulator is to test and debug your application. Simulating device feature like as a device such as GPS, camera and network connection and sensor. These are the simulating device feature will be available into the emulator. Multiple device configuration, you can create a multiple kind of emulator in your laptop. Faster development cycle, using the emulator speed up the development process as developer can quickly test and interact with the application without having to deploy to the physical device. Limitation, while emulator is a powerful tool for testing, it may not perfectly replicate to perform the behavior of the real device. ओके, तो एक्चुअली आपका आउटपुट कहाँ पे चेक करना पड़ेगा, वो एक्चुअल रियल डिवाइस में ही चेक करना पड़ेगा. Android manifest, in the Android development, manifest file refer to the manifest.xml file. It is a crucial component of the every application. अब उसमें क्या क्या रहता है, मैनिफेस्ट फाइल जो है उसमें एप्लीकेशन का डिक्लेरेशन रहता है. तो आपकी कौन सी एप्लीकेशन है वो वहां पे मैनिफेस्ट फाइल में डिक्लेयर होती है. The manifest file.xml file is where the application essential information is declared. Application component, all the components which are applied to the application which will be registered in the Android manifest.xml. If you want to use some services, if you want to work on the broadcast receiver, so you need to register your receiver to that particular manifest file. Permission. So if you want to work with a permission, the Android manifest file will also be used. The manifest file declare permission that the application required to access certain feature of the device or perform specific action. For example, if an application need access to the internet, it must request the internet permission in the manifest file. There are multiple permissions available. Say for example, for internet there is a permission, for camera there is a permission, right? For a network, for a Wi-Fi. If you want to work on the particular permissions, you need to define that permission into the Android manifest.xml. Intent filter, it is also important part of the manifest file. For activities, service and broadcast receiver, the manifest file can include intent filter. Application theme and appearance. So manifest file can also include information about the application theme, icon, display setting, which define how the application appear on the device home screen. Minimum and target SDK. This is the also a specification. You need to maintain it as per your user requirement. What is the minimum SDK and what will be the targeted SDK? In the Android application development, service is a command that run in the background. तो service जो है वो background में running होगी for long running operations such as downloading a file, playing music or handling network request without interacting with the UI. राइट, तो यूजर को इसमें कोई इंटरेक्शन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. सर्विस जो है वो हमारी बैकग्राउंड में रन होती रहेगी. Background task service are designed to run in the background, meaning they do not have user interface and operate independently on the UI. तो ये जो background task है उसको रन करने के लिए कोई UI की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है, वो इंटरनली प्रोसेस में रन होता ही रहता है. There are two types of service: started service and bounded service. Started service is initialized by an application component such as activity and run until the complete its task is explicitly stopped. And bound service allow the other component to bind it with the interact and exchange the data. Life cycle: a service has its own life cycle which is managed by system. The main life cycle method includes running in the background, threading and foreground process, means a foreground service. सो ये जो लाइफ साइकिल है सर्विस की, उसमें क्या रहता है कि कोई सर्विस आपको बैकग्राउंड में चाहिए, कोई सर्विस आपको थ्रेड में कंटिन्यू रन करानी है, और अगर आपको कोई सर्विस फोरग्राउंड में चाहिए, तो ये तीनों के लिए जो है वो सर्विस अवेलेबल रहती है. ब्रॉडकास्ट रिसीवर इज अ कंपोनेंट that listen for the response of the broadcast message. अगर कोई मैसेजेस ब्रॉडकास्ट हो रहा है तो वो ब्रॉडकास्ट मैसेजेस को रिसीव करने के लिए, उसको लिसन करने के लिए ब्रॉडकास्ट रिसीवर जो है वो यूज होता है. The message called intent are used to notify all the interested applicant about the system wide of the uh, application specific event, such as a change in the network connectivity, battery status or new SMS. So the broadcast receiver has its own particular parts. Say for example, system and application event. Broadcast receiver allow the application to listen to a specific event. If there is a event generated at that time, the broadcast receiver will allow to the listen that event. This can be a system wide event. Listening for broadcast: a broadcast receiver are registered to listen the certain broadcast messages, either static or dynamically. For static registration, the receiver is declared in the manifest file.xml. Intent and filters: broadcasts are sent as the intent. अगर आपको कोई मैसेज सेंड कर रहा है तो वो इंटेंट के द्वारा करेगा, which can carry data of or information about the event. A broadcast receiver uses an intent filter to define which type of event it should be not respond to. System wide events: example of system wide event that can trigger a broadcast receiver include battery low notification, Wi-Fi state change, device boot event, and change in the network connectivity. There is a custom broadcast also. You can create your own custom broadcast list. Application can also create a send and custom broadcast to communicate with other application. Life cycle: the on receive method is a key life cycle method of broadcast receiver. So अगर आपको कोई ब्रॉडकास्ट मैसेज कर रहा है तो ऑन रिसीव मेथड है वो यूज होगी, वो मेथड वो डेटा को रिसीव करने के लिए. Handling broadcast: by using that on receive method, you can handle the broadcast. Broadcast receiver do not run on their own thread, so any long running background performing task in the on receive must be done on a separate thread. Permission based security: you can also provide the security by using the permission, but this permission you can provide by the broadcast receiver. Content provider: in the Android, content provider component allow the application to securely share data with other application. So if in your application there is some data, right? So now you want to share your data with another application. At that time, the content provider will be used. The very best example of that content provider is a WhatsApp. Say for example, if you are saving your one contact into your contact list, so that contact will also available into that particular WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is a different application and you are adding your contact into the contact list, right? So by using content provider, one application can share the data between another application. It provides a structured interface for accessing, modifying and querying data from different data resource like as database, file or network. Data sharing content provider act as a intermediary between different application, enabling one application to access and manipulate the data stored in the another application. URI, it means a uniform resource identifier. Content provider use URI to define the data access points. CRUD operation, by using that content provider, you can do the database operations also, like a create, read and update operation on that data it manage. Application interact with the content provider using method like insert, query, update and delete method. Content provider has the security and permissions also. Say for example, if you want to read some read the context from the phone, then you need read context permission, and you need to define this permission in the Android manifest.xml also. Custom content provider, it is also possible. You can create your own custom content provider for accessing data like contact, media, calendar, events. Developer can also create custom content provider. Cross application data access, you can access the cross application data. One of the main benefit of the content provider is that they enable cross application data sharing. For example, a photo sharing application can access the images stored on the other application using the media store content provider. SQLite and content provider. So content provider is also used to database connectivity. By using SQLite, you can store your data, update your data and delete your data, and you can do with the content provider also. Then intent. In Android, an intent is a message passing object that is used to request an action or trigger an event in the system within an application. So अगर intent का दो generally there is a two usage of the intent. If the user click on the button, now if you want to do like that, you just want to navigate into the another activity, at that time the intent will be used. Or the second usage of the intent is by using that intent object, you can pass the message also into the next activity. There is a two type of intent, explicit intent and implicit intent. एक्सप्लिसिट इंटेंट क्या रहेगा कि अगर जो एक्टिविटी आप जहां जहां पे सेंड कर रहे हो वो एक्सटर्नल एक्टिविटी हो, इंटरनल नहीं हो, ठीक है. देयर इज अ इंटरनल एंड एक्सटर्नल एक्टिविटीज आल्सो व्हिच आर अवेलेबल. Say for example, if you want to use the internal browser, right, it will be used by the implicit intent. A data intent can carry data which is often encapsulated in the key value pair called extras. So if you want to send some data from one activity to another activity, the intent will be used. And that key and value pair is called the extras. Right? So this is what the summary for today. We have understood the different kind of various component and concept for building an efficient and interactive application. XML, views, activities, emulator, manifest file, service, broadcast receiver, content provider, and lastly we have done with the intent. Together, these elements from the core architecture and application enable the dynamic, responsive, and well-organized mobile experience. This is the keyword that we learned by today lecture: XML, views, layout, activity, emulator, manifest, service, broadcast receiver, content provider, and intent. Now it's time to have some multi-choice question. First, what is the primary use of XML in the Android? XML का क्या use होता है? Defining Java class, storing data in database, design user interface, and handling background. So right answer is a C. XML is used to design the user interface. In Android, what is the view used for? View का क्या use होता है? Storing application data, managing background process, representing UI element on the screen, and sending then receive the data. So the right answer is C. The views is used to represent the UI element on the screen. Which of the following define the structure and position of the view? Activity, layout, intent, service. So the layout will use to define the structure of the positioning the elements. What is an activity? Activity A background process. B, a single screen in the application where user can interact. C, a service that handle data synchronization. D, a system-wide event. The right answer is a B. Activity is a single screen in the application where user can interact. What is the purpose of emulator? To monitor an application performance, to run and test your application on the virtual device, to control device hardware feature, to store the application data. So right answer is B. Emulator is used to run and test the application on the virtual device. Sixth question. What is the declared in the Android manifest file? Android manifest file में क्या declare होता है? Application data and UI elements, application permission, component and configuration, Java class for activity and service, network protocol used by the application. So the right answer is B. The Android manifest file including the application permission, components and configurations. Which of the following task is handled by a service in Android? A. Displaying UI element. B. Running background task like data synchronization, receiving broadcast messages, or handling user input. So right answer is B. Service will use to handle the running background task like data synchronization or playing a music. What is the main function of broadcast receiver? A. To initiate a service. B. To listen and respond to a system-wide or application-specific service. C. To manage UI element. D. To perform background operation. सो ब्रॉडकास्ट रिसीवर का मेन फंक्शन जो है टू लिसन एंड रिस्पॉन्स टू द सिस्टम वाइड और एप्लीकेशन स्पेसिफिक इवेंट. What is a content provider used for in Android? A. Managing background process. B. Sharing data securely between application. D. Designing the application UI. And D. Handling the system wide broadcast. सो कंटेंट प्रोवाइडर का यूज जो होता है वो शेयरिंग डेटा सिक्योरली बिटवीन एप्लीकेशन. इफ यू वांट टू शेयर योर डेटा विथ अनदर एप्लीकेशन एट दैट टाइम कंटेंट प्रोवाइडर विल बी यूज्ड. 10th क्वेश्चन. व्हाट इज द प्राइमरी फंक्शन ऑफ एन इंटेंट इन द एंड्रॉइड? एंड्रॉइड में इंटेंट का क्या फंक्शन है? ए. टू स्टोर डेटा ऑन डिवाइस. बी. टू नेविगेट बिटवीन एप्लीकेशन स्क्रीन और पास डेटा बिटवीन द एक्टिविटी. To manage background service, to define the layout structure of the application. So right answer is B. It is used to navigate between application activity or pass the data between the activity. These are the self-assessment question. You can have your assessment by yourself. By using this question, you can assess yourself. What is XML in Android and how it is used for defining user interaction. What is the view in the Android and how does it contribute to the UI of application? Can you provide the example of the types of views? What is a layout in Android and how does it organize views in within application? What are the different type of layout available and how do they affect as in the UI design? What is an activity in Android and what is the role to play a user interaction with the application? Describe life cycle of activity. What is a Android emulator and how does it assist developer in the testing application? What are the benefit of and limitation of the emulator? What is the purpose of manifest file and how does it manage component like permission and configuration? What is service in the Android and what task does it perform? What is broadcast receiver and how does it handle system wide or app specific event? What is content provider and why it is important for sharing data between application? How do CRUD operation work with content provider? What is intent and how does the intent enable to communicate between different component of application? And these are the some important reference. You can take the reference from these also. So let's have a quick review about today's lecture. In the today's lecture, we have learned about the things. Say for example, what is a XML, and this is the sub part of the XML: layout, resource, manifest, configuration, and attributes. Then we learn about views like a UI element, hierarchy, interaction, attributes, customization, and custom views. Then we learn about layouts. There are different layout: linear layout, relative layout, constraint layout, frame layout, and grid layout. Then we learn about activity. Sub part of activity is UI component, lifecycle management, navigation between activity, interaction with other component, manifest declaration, UI construction, and application flow. And then we have discussion about the emulator. In that emulator, we discussed about simulation of device, configurable setting, testing and debugging, simulating device feature, multiple device configuration, faster development cycle, and limitations. Then we have learn about what is manifest file, and in the manifest file there is a different component like application declaration, application components, permission, intent filter, application theme, minimum SDK, and targeted SDK. Then we have discussed about service. There are two types of service: started service and bounded service, and there is a life cycle of service is also available. So that can be a running in the background service, a thread as a service, and foreground service. Then we have learned about broadcast receiver. The intent is used to take handle the broadcast system application event, listening for broadcasting, intent filter, system wide event, custom broadcast lifecycle, handling broadcast, and permission based security. Then we learn about content provider. Content provider, the benefit of content provider is data sharing by using URI, and you can do the CRUD operation also by using content provider. You need security permission also. Custom content provider you can create. You can use a cross application data and SQLite. And at last, we have learned about intent. It is a message passing object used to it is used to request an action on the trigger event in the system with application. Used to navigate from one activity to another activity, and also used to send and receive the data. Types of intent: explicit intent and implicit intent, and the data is also called extras. So this is the topic that we have covered by today. uh, if you have any question, query, and doubt in the today's topics, you can contact me. So that's all from my side. Thank you, guys.